It's been a hot minute since I made a video because, well, most of my videos have to do with my traveling and coronavirus. Traveling is not really happening at the moment. I do have a few videos coming up because even in the current climate, I will be traveling very soon, so I'll let you know about that. But actually today's video kind of has to do with traveling without me actually having to leave my bedroom. Apologies. My bedroom is what it is. So I just woke up from a 3-hour nap because, again, lockdown life, and my makeup is just like still pretty bomb, which is a thing I aim for in life. I want my makeup to basically be able to last whatever. I want my makeup to last sweaty, humid Japan summers or 3-hour naps in England. So I thought it would actually be perhaps interesting to share some of the makeup that I bring on my travels, which brands I pick and why I pick the makeup I pick, because I end up having just a lot of makeup experience. It was one of my first jobs, was in that industry, and I mean, I'll share the knowledge, you do what you will with it. Most of my travel makeup can be fit into some kind of category, but what I aim for is makeup that I can just plain remove in a shower, because I cannot be bothered with like 7 toners and 2 different types of makeup remover and all of that stuff. Like, none of it. I have to be able to go in the shower or to find something on hand to remove the makeup very, very easily and promptly. So that's my first travel makeup criteria. Second criteria, I don't want to be traveling with basically my like trusty giant makeup bag. So I need it to be efficient, like keeping me cute and like put together for pictures, or if we decide to go to a fancier event during the trip, but at the same time that is very much a package deal, small, compact, because most of my trips have been backpacking trips, so really I don't want to be carrying all of that. Another criteria, as I've previously mentioned like literally 2 minutes ago, I want it to be like on fleek no matter what the hell is happening, okay? And again, I want it to be like that without me having to carry basically the whole world in my bag, okay? So we're gonna start off with the fact that I'm not necessarily a high coverage foundation kind of gal. Like, I don't mind if we can still see like the pinkish shades or some of my imperfections. Like, I like to have an evener skin tone, but I'm not aiming for high coverage. I will, however, bring up some stronger coverage foundation because, well, I'm in Europe and Europeans watch this video, and in a minute you'll understand why I'm saying that. First item, foundation. So when I am traveling, I do not like to bring liquid foundation because A, has a higher chance of running, B, sometimes it separates because of all the different temperatures you can leave your bag in. Sometimes it's going to be in like a freezing AC pumped hotel, and sometimes it's going to be in the sunshine for a whole day because you're beaching between changing locations. So I quite like bringing my compact foundation for a trip. My personal favorite is Dual Finish by Lancome. Obviously this one is crumbling apart because it's well overused in my case, but inside you have the mirror and you have obviously your compact with like a little sponge to apply. I've never had the problem of having it get crushed through my travels, and I think my travel buddies could say that I'm wild with my bag. I just throw it left, right, and center, but it has never happened, although I'm pretty clever at just putting clothes around my makeup bag, so that would help. But yeah, so I really like this one. It smells like roses. I feel fresh when I put it on. It keeps me matte to some extreme, and it helps me set my concealer, which is basically the only high coverage thing that I wear when I'm traveling. And if I start tanning, because this is a light to medium coverage, I can actually get some of my tan come through, which is good because, as I said, I don't want to be carrying this ton of stuff, so I don't always carry bronzer. So I really like Dual Finish. It is a bit more expensive, and it is also not available in Europe. I did ask the Lancome representative why it wasn't available in Europe and if there was any way I could have it delivered in Europe. They did tell me that according to market research, European women, mostly women, but I'm sure European men to some extent, are just more keen on medium to high coverage foundation, which is pretty rare when you're going with a dry foundation, a compact foundation. So they just don't sell this part of the Lancome brand in Europe. What I was able to find that is somewhat equivalent, obviously with a higher coverage, you have the Derma Blends by Vichy, and again, you're gonna have your mirror, you're gonna have your shade, and you're gonna have your sponge. Now, the thing with that, it's got SPF in it, which is obviously really nice when you're traveling, but most of their shades are pretty golden. They don't have very dark shades, so it might not be for all skin tones. Same thing for Lancome, to be honest. Like, they have darker shades when you go into their liquid foundations, but they don't really with their powdered foundations at the minute. Like, I haven't been in America for, again, a while, so maybe they have extended the range, but as of now they don't really. And so anyways, very golden undertones, but lasts really well, much higher coverage. So if you're going with something like that, you can use it wet or you can use it dry, and you can kind of play with your coverage. You might want to do your neck a little just because it's that high coverage for a powder. It is thicker on the skin, but not uncomfortable. I tried the Smashbox one, which is pretty much available everywhere on earth at this point. They had a lot more shade options, but it felt a lot heavier on the skin, which again, something I don't want when I'm traveling. I don't want to feel like I'm caked up. Like, I just want to hike, go to the beach, go to the museum, stand around nice monuments, take a few pictures for when I start having amnesia or some kind of Alzheimer, and appreciate my day. So I mean, I quite like this one. Doesn't feel as thick, but for pink undertones, which I normally have, especially in winter, or darker skin tones, Smashbox might be a better option. Second item, concealer. So that's kind of my go-to if I'm not gonna put powder on. For sure, at least I want my concealer on because it just brightens up my eyes. I tend to have pretty dark eye sockets, so I try to do the best with that. However, I want my concealer when I'm traveling to be crease free. I want it to be self-drying, like I don't need a setting powder for it, because if I do, we're gonna have a problem over the day, and just plain if I'm not carrying a powder. I can set with my foundation since I carry powder foundation, but still, it can get a bit too much. So I have 3 different options at 3 different price points. One of them is a Canadian brand, so French Canadian brand, Les Wattier. So basically this one is an anti-wrinkle concealer, which I think is basically code for non-creasing, which is exactly what I want when I'm traveling. It's a bit more of a light coverage, but it's really good. It sets pretty quickly. It's at a higher price point, and I don't think it's available everywhere, but for my Canadian friends, it could be nice to know that. If we are going with something a bit more drugstore friendly that I think can be found pretty much everywhere, it's really popular in the general like beauty guru industry, but the Instant Age Rewind Eraser by Maybelline. It is very good. The applicator is a bit annoying because you have to go with like the sponge applicator, and also they look darker in the tube than they are on your skin, so you might want to take that in consideration if you're going for this one. But again, anti-age, basically anti-creasing. I think that one is in the 7-8 pounds around here. It's really nice coverage, it's buildable, and honestly it's a quick go-to. You do not have to think about it very much, and it is tiny and light, so you can carry it easily across the world. It'll give you a pick-me-up for that night where you stayed too late in the hostel bar and have to get up for a trek at 6 a.m. And the last one, which in this case is a British brand, which I don't know if you can get it everywhere, but it is Makeup Revolution. This one is pretty cheap. I think this one specifically cost me £4. Again, do not trust the shade descriptions to pick your color. Definitely not going to be helpful here, but it is a full coverage conceal, contour, and total coverage, but it's really good at not creasing, which is what I napped with today, and it's still looking great and fresh. So I'm pretty fair, and I'm a C8, and they only go to like C20, but like the last shades are like pretty dark in all different undertones, which is great because I know this one doesn't have as many dark shades out there. And this applicator is a bit different. You got a lot more control with it. So I know most people here in England are a big fan of this specific concealer. Again, very easy application. The doe foot is lovely on it. Slap that on, go to your trek, look flawless, creaseless, 16-hour wear, and it is true. Amen. In the lip and cheek department, I like to pick a product that has both use because I'm not very keen, again, on having a huge makeup bag on my travels. So I quite like this one from, I think it's Tony Moly. I've had it for way too long, it's kind of shameful. But very small, very compact, 2 different shades in there, depending how I'm feeling, peachy or fiery. You can put it on your cheeks or on your lip. On the cheeks it stays really long. On the lip obviously you can eat it off because it's not necessarily long wear, but I'm a fan of that, and as I said, good for travel. However, if you want some long-lasting lip product, and that's the only one that you won't be able to remove in the shower of all what I've named so far, it is the Superstay Matte Ink by Maybelline. They have a very wide range of shade, literally anything from bright orange to bright purple and then everything in between. They stay on forever. You can eat anything. Unless you're drinking a shooter of oil, you'll be more than fine with this. And obviously this one, again, a bit like the other Maybelline product in this video, you should not trust the box to figure out what the actual color is. I personally already own 4 of their shades and my roommate owns like another 4, so I have tested and tried. Definitely need to have a tester to open and check the color, but once you have it, it is perfect. I have been literally in the shower, used micellar water and other makeup removers that had no oils in it to try and remove it. It doesn't budge. You will be gorgeous all day, and you do not need a lip liner with this because their applicator is super precise, so you can basically overline your lips if that's what you're into, or you can go for a lot more natural lip and it will stay on fleek. However, and as you have understood so far, I like my makeup to be easily removable, but to not budge when I need it to be there. The only thing with that is that you'll need some kind of oil to remove it, but as I said, you can easily find olive oil or literally any single kind of oil that is not a health and safety issue to rub it off. Like literally canola oil, coconut oil, whichever. Maybe you're already carrying coconut oil for your hair, so why not rub a little on your lip to remove the lipstick that is gonna be there forever otherwise. I mean, personally, sometimes I just put it on and not take it off, and then 3 days later I still look fly. 2 last categories. So I have here my go-to eyeliner, because if I do nothing else, I put concealer and eyeliner on. I'm just a fan. I think a thin black liner is just the way to go if you want to look put together and pretend that you're awake. So my favorite one, again, I do not want a flaky eyeliner. I don't want an eyeliner that I have to fight to remove, and I just want it to do its darn job when I need it to, whether I'm sweating or whether it's -40 and my eyes are runny because they're gonna freeze over. So my favorites so far, definitely Urban Decay Perversion, so very fine tip applicator. Okay, I folded mine, and that's my fault because they just changed to like little bristles for more precise application, and I'm a dum-dum when it comes to using bristles. But even with that, I've never had a problem applying it. Shake it, slap it on, it'll be there until you purposefully rub it intensely with soap. So just water alone might not be enough to remove it, but I do hope you use soap when you wash yourself. And then a kind of easier knockoff version, if you like, is the Epic Ink Liner by NYX. So this is kind of available everywhere for a lot cheaper. And again, we have the very thin applicator bristles going on. And this one, I mean, it does not last as long, but it is less than half the price. So I think if you're a budget traveler and a budget pimp up makeup, this is pretty good. I'm also a big fan of Yves Saint Laurent's liquid liner, but it's a lot more expensive, so keep that in mind. Last category is mascara, because you want mascara that, again, you won't have to rip your lashes off when it's time to remove it, or especially, I don't know, you're in the middle of Costa Rica with like the thinnest shower you've ever seen in your life, and you're trying to remove it, and basically you're just gonna have to shave your eyelashes off before you get it an inch to move. So I would say I really like personally this Smashbox one, full exposure mascara. Chunky wand though, so if you're not comfortable with a big wand, it's pretty big. I like it a lot. It gives my lashes a nice curl, nice black pigment, and again, 3-hour nap, no transfer. My eyes were closed shut for a good while. Basically, I mean, it doesn't give that much length perhaps, but I personally don't mind it. My priority is just to have me look alive. It gives me a nice curl, gives me a bit of volume. It does not budge until I put soap on it, and really I'm quite sold. The other mascara type that I really like, and I'll try to insert pictures because I've ran out of mine. I know Lise Watier, which was the Canadian brand, has a really good one, but it's like the silicone based tube mascaras. So the way that technology works is that when you put the mascara on, it kind of wraps around your lash, and then at the end of the day, or whenever you want to take it off, you just have to put a bit of water and slip it off your lash. And that is just great because you can go in the water with it, you can basically rub your eyes a little with it and still nothing will happen, but you will not have to rip lashes off to get rid of it. So I think that's pretty bomb, but I wasn't able to find necessarily the type that I was looking for in England, and I ran out. But if you have access to those two mascaras, they are great for traveling, and they're really just, honestly, just easy use. So in the description box, I'll put like as much as I can about the products that I named today. I hope this made sense and I explained clearly enough why they would be travel-friendly items. If you have any questions, obviously I can answer. Also, again, sorry for the background, but lockdown being lockdown, I have to do it with what we have. If you want me to come back with maybe some different travel-friendly items, whether it be clothes or hair care, skincare, I've been all over that and I have answers for all of it, so feel free to ask down below and I'll post it. Otherwise, yeah, I think this wraps it up. So I hope this was useful to you. I hope your little travel bag is gonna be up to par with your style game and that your Instagram's gonna be fire. See you soon. Bye.